How about now? There we go. Okay. All right. So yeah, I wasn't seeing the bars. I don't know if you guys were hearing me before, but man, it almost seems like you're almost never ready to get started with these lives. But you know, let's get this show on the road. So Bitcoin's been looking good. I know I always say that I'm barely looking at the Bitcoin prices, and usually I really am. Um, but I mean, you kind of had to see that this morning. How could you not? Trying to see exactly where this kind of happened at. Like I said, because yesterday I was barely paying. So yeah, it looks like it just started moving. Um, okay. Yeah. So got a lot of important stuff I want to talk about today. Like I said, sometimes you feel like you're never really ready to start these lives. I know it seems like everything is so smooth probably when y'all come on here, but yeah, it is what it is. I saw one thing. This is actually a bad joke, but so it's funny they're saying that they're gonna I'm not gonna lie, I got kind of alarmed. I'm trying to be in that range of $75 million, but we'll see what happens. But no, they put this thing up saying that Coinbase is going to start charging conversion fees above 75 million monthly um, volume. At first, when I first read it, I didn't even read the monthly part, and I actually found this article somewhere else, and they didn't put the monthly on there at all. So you may say 75 million is too much anyway, but usually they're going to have a tiers for different fees or whatever. Uh, but I think it was like, even for this, it was like 0.001% or whatever. $75 million. If I'm not, hopefully I don't sound crazy on air, but I believe that's like $7,500. I'm pretty sure somebody has $75 million that they're not worried about 7,500. But I do know that I know a lot of the USDC, you get free fees and whatever. You don't get charged too much when you're doing your conversions or whatever, but it's really nothing to worry about. Um, Trying to see here, got these. So now, guys, I'm trying not to stream in different places or whatever. So I don't think this comment is coming from YouTube that I'm seeing. So I'm gonna just read this to myself because you guys are not looking at this. No, no, thank you. I actually don't do that. So yeah, sorry. I know you're on my stream and watching whatever, but yeah, I've been told by not the good ones that I talk to, but I've been seeing a lot of YouTubes. I didn't realize because sometimes I'm like, I feel like my channel's growing pretty fast because I just got started. I didn't know people were botting followers and comments. I'm not going to do that on this channel. I don't care if people come over here and be like, "What? He's got under 1,000 followers. He must not be a good channel." I'm not botting followers. I'm not buying followers. I am not botting my comments or none of that stuff because it messes up your stream later. I'd rather just grow organically and help the people that I can help. So I'm not sure what channel you're on with this comment, but no, thank you. I don't need any. I don't need any of that. Um, so yeah. Yeah, I guess it would make, oh my gosh, this channel's growing so fast. It'd probably make me look cool, but I don't have time for it. Because when you pay for those little bot chat comments and stuff, then they take over your comments later. So I don't need that. Anyway, so here's I talk about this quite a bit, but because if you guys don't know, it's fine if you don't. Uh Anthony Scaramucci is just put it, he's big money. He's a big deal. Um Only reason why I'm talking about this again because I talk about it quite a bit. But it's saying experts bet on 170K Bitcoin price. This the way they titled this is not what was in the article though. In the wake of the 2024 halving, pretty much just saying I guess this cycle that a conservative bet is 170,000 for 170,000 for the price of Bitcoin. Once again, I say on the channel all the time, I am not looking for the price of Bitcoin, nor should you, because what happens is, um, I'm not trying to be condescending or say anybody's unintelligent or anything, but what happens is people get stuck because they're waiting for that price to happen that that was predicted. Do not wait for no doggone price prediction. You just stick to the timing of the cycle. I don't care who says what. And my theory is, and because I can say this now because my channel's still small, is when you see people throwing out these numbers and it's making you excited, like people are saying Bitcoin's going to be a quarter million, and you're getting excited because you're already calculating. Well, last time the top was 60 times, I mean 60,000. So that means this time we're gonna have 5 times as much money in the market. That's how they catch you. Don't get caught up in that foolishness. Only thing you need to be watching is the timing of the cycle. Middle of 2025. Did I say it right? Yeah, middle 2025, around that springtime, that's where you kind of seeing like, okay, Bitcoin's kind of right here. Don't sit around waiting for it to get it to a price. You'll pretty much see what the price is going to be around that April 2025 area. Of course, it can do a double top. It can go back up after the May sell away that usually happens. It could go back up around October, November 2025. But do not be waiting for a particular price. I'm sorry, I didn't even mean to say all that with this new stuff, but it's important because Anthony Scaramucci is a big guy, big money. A lot of people respect him. If you go find him on Twitter, you'll see how many followers he has. So when he says something, people listen to it. But it sort of makes them smart money, but it kind of doesn't at the same time. You don't always want to be following the herd. So don't be waiting for price predictions. Wait for the timing of the cycle. That's the only thing you should be focused on. It's cool. Yeah, if they think 170,000, I'd be excited if it's 170,000 too. Don't get me wrong. But where we at 7 minutes? Let's see how quick we can do the stream today. I mean, not that I'm rushing, but I just want to get to the main points and stuff. But yeah, do not be waiting for a particular price prediction. I don't care what it is, how conservative you think it is. You need to just pay attention to the timing of the cycle, and you should have an idea of where we are around April of 2025. So you can kind of remember that. At least right now, it's looking like we're going to stay on this traditional cycle. Let me see where I want to go first with this. I didn't write my notes as clear as I wanted to. Just give me 2 seconds here. Should I do that now or later? Yeah, I'll do that later. Let me put this note on here real quick. I got a very important thing and note I want to show you guys later. And it's not that I'm trying to save the best for last and keep you on the stream, but just the flow of the conversation that I have today is how it works out. So, this is one thing. If you're my Patreon, I've been telling myself to be careful of. I will say I didn't write the best notes today, but whatever. But it's one thing I tell myself I have to be careful of. So people have their portfolio put together, and then they'll say, "Hey, I have this narrative. I have this narrative. I have this. I'm looking for a coin in this narrative. Do you have something like, So pretty much they feel like they got some of the narratives covered, and they want another one for a certain narrative. And because they're looking for something in that narrative, I'll go find them something that may be the best in that narrative, or that I've heard talked about in that narrative that I've looked up and seen that is pretty decent. But I no longer want to do that because I want to be given stuff that I believe in. I do know it costs money. I feel like my Patreon is cheap, but sometimes you do have to join different Patrons because there's some things I just won't cover, and I'm going to talk about some of them today. I wish it was a more exhausted list, but I felt like it was going to go too long if I talked about it. But maybe you guys will introduce something in the chat that I can talk about. But yeah, so if I'm not the most bullish on it, I don't want to say, hey, this is the best in this narrative. And it may be the best in that narrative, and it may be the best performing token in that narrative. But if I don't particularly believe in it, I don't want to necessarily be giving it out, because it is for you to do your own research. So that's how I kind of look at it. But I want to make sure I feel even just decent about like giving a certain pick out. And that's tough sometimes, like I said, because I can give you something in the narrative and say do your own research, and I may still do that. But I want to make sure that the way I word it and present it to different people, it just stands with my beliefs. So here's the thing that I tell people. You want to pick the best picks that you feel like are going to be the best picks of the bull cycle. Some people will pick picks and they'll say, like I said yesterday, I'm not going to talk about what I talked about yesterday, but they'll say because it's such a low market cap that it has to at least 100x because it's only a 3 million market cap. But if it's not a very popular project, do you seriously just want to be sitting there to the end of the bull run? I want my projects to be so bullish that I can get that 100x before we even get near the end of the bull run or whatever. I don't have to wait to the tippy top of the end of the bull run. And so people have these bags that they're holding, and I've seen this. I've been through cycles, so I've seen it where you people are holding a bag and they're watching everybody else talk like going crazy because they're getting 100x's. Usually nobody's really saying it like on YouTube streams or whatever, but usually everybody's talking about it in the discords and the patrons like, man, we just hit 100x. And so then they go to the YouTube streams promoting their bags, and the people who are new don't even know it's 100x, and they just trying to get that extra pump to 120. But you'll see people holding bags, and it's like, it's like the jealous kid at the lunch table, like their lunch is looking better than yours because you didn't really have conviction about the projects you got in. And I always use this example because I try to use examples with myself and not just other YouTubers are like I'm better than them. It was one last cycle. It's called Linear Finance. It was a great project, right? But it wasn't the most sexy project. It wasn't the most something that you could be bullish about, explain to everyone. And Linear Finance, ticker Lena, you can go back and look at the history yourself. I'm not making this up. And so, you can get it, got 1 penny, and you're expecting it to do this, right? It should at least do a 50x, right? I'm trying to tell you guys. So you're thinking like, it's a low market cap. This at least got to do the 50x, 100x. I don't do that this cycle. I'm getting the bullet stuff this cycle. But anyway, long story short, it only did like a 14x. And so that's what I'm telling people. Like when you get all these people to saying it's a low market cap and all it has to do is this, like don't get caught in that. Um, so my main point was that, what I will not do is just throw picks in my Patreon just to make it look like I'm doing something like I gotta have a pick for this week. Inside the month, I feel like, yeah, you definitely should have I should definitely have some picks, but I'm not gonna pressure myself just to give people picks and they're holding it and it's not doing, it's not going to do anything in the bull run or whatever. I'm trying to give everybody in my Patreon bangers. Like these are bangers. These are going to be the ones that fly, that move. I understand. I'm now starting to understand. I mean, I already understood that different people have different investing strategies, right? But I'm now starting to understand that a lot of people like getting 8x here, 8x there. I don't like that. That's not my thing. Or really potential 6 and 8x's here and there. Like, no, I just need this one solid coin to give me that 50x or 100x. I don't need to be trying to look around like and to be honest, I thought mine, because I know what I'm doing. I have a strategy, but I felt like my portfolio was a little diverse. No matter what strategy I have, I see some people, I'm like, yo, how many picks do you like? I see some people with like 80, think I'm lying, 80 to like 120 coins. And I'm like, no, that's way too much because people are afraid of missing stuff. But now to get to the ones that I'm going to probably hurt some people's feelings, but let's just get right to it because where we at in the stream, I don't want to be too long. Let's talk about what we're here to talk about. I'm gonna just go off the rip and say it. Y'all ready for this? Some of y'all ready, some of y'all gonna laugh, and some of y'all probably gonna get feelings hurt. Narratives and tokens that I do not mind missing and do not mind not holding, no matter what they do. Um, let's start off with the two coins. Some of you've already heard this, and some of you may be new to you. Number one for me, Cardano. I don't give a nothing what Cardano does. I don't care what Cardano does. And the thing I keep seeing people say, and this actually brought it to my mind. I had another lesson this morning, but we're going to work that out because I want to make sure that lesson is really good. But I saw like two people on Twitter. It was just really random saying like, let's talk about Cardano. It has a strong community. Let me pull something up for y'all real quick. Some of y'all already know this. We're gonna move on. We're not gonna spend too much time on this one because I feel like you should know. If you've been on the channel a while. Okay. For one, Cardano is not starting where it started last cycle. So some people still have that delusion in their mind, right? Cardano was back here when we started. See here, before 2020 hit, and we were here, we're around. So even there is, so you really had to catch it in the bear market to get it. Now, so we're like that 2 cents. That was like March 2020. But by the time we even started the cycle, we were already at like 15, 17 cents. Let me move this over some more so I can see it. Right. And so let's see, where did it go? So it's already at 18 billion. And it went to 90 billion. And people are always saying, well, it usually should do twice what it did last cycle. For one, last cycle, altcoins and all these things were just getting started. They were talking about the hopes for smart contracts or whatever, and that was the narrative they were running off. Plus, there was not as much competition in the market. I keep having to preach that because people keep forgetting it. I'm gonna just be straightforward because my channel is small and they may come for me or whatever. Cardano's boring. Cardano is a super boring ecosystem. I do know, yes, and this was interesting. I know two like traditional finance partnerships that Cardano has, but it's a boring ecosystem. There's not much development there. I don't care about TVL and all that mess. I know sometimes that is a great marker for what blockchain is doing or whatever. It's boring. I don't see much happening over there. Charles is pretty boring himself. And so what people are riding on, but it's got this vibrant community. Have you ever have you ever followed football? You followed football? You have. Okay, you said yes. Have you ever seen the Dallas Cowboys vibrant community? How many times, and I'm not knocking the Cowboys fans, but how many times have Cowboy fans been let down? It does not matter that the community is vibrant. It matters what the project, the team does. Are you getting us wins? Are you getting us through the playoffs? Are you making it to the Super Bowl? So that's to me, and I hate to put it this way, but they both blew too. So I mean, Cardano is the Cowboys for me. That's it's just like, yeah, you got this big community. They love it, but that doesn't mean it's gonna do well. Um, to me, I see Cardano doing I feel like a 6x is way too ambitious. I really don't even see the 6x. But if I were to say crazy ambitious 10x, and I feel like that's foolery. I I'm not holding Cardano. I don't mind missing it. Here's another one that you should know. XRP. I came in on XRP. I think a lot of people did because, like I said, last cycle there weren't many altcoins. Um, XRP was this revolutionary thing and cross border payments and stuff, and so it got introduced to me by someone who was in the community, and I thank God XRP brought me into the community and had made me start looking around more at altcoins because before, everybody. Let me tell you something. Anybody who tells you they came in their first cycle, so it's been three cycles, their first cycle, and they were like all into altcoins or whatever. I was like, okay, this Bitcoin thing is cool. All right. I saw this Litecoin thing. There was this thing called Bitcoin Cash and all that. But as far as like really starting to like think about altcoins, it was like, the XRP, and then the next cycle you got the Cardanos and the Matics or whatever. But anyway, um, for one, as we can see here, if you don't know, I try to say it every stream at least once because everybody doesn't know. They think it's the price of the coin, but it's the market cap. This is even bigger than Cardano. Um, $28 billion. It's going to take a lot of money to move XRP. Everybody thought when they won the case that was going to be the deciding factor, but you saw what it did. It went up to about 82 cents, or first like 76 cents, then it went down, then it tried to creep back up to like 80 some cents, and then it came back right down to here. And I'm gonna bring this back up later because I'm gonna show you an even better example that I don't see people really talking about. Not that it's the most secret thing, but not a lot of people don't talk about it enough, and that's why the stream is important. But it's at 30 billion. A 10x is 300 billion. A lot of people have kind of lost that bullishness and that faith of XRP. Don't get me wrong. When the bull run starts, a lot of people are going to start shilling XRP and whatever, and it can do what it does. But for people who are talking, I've seen some crazy numbers like $18. What was the one crazy one? I know some of y'all know. Was it $142? 200? I can't even remember what it was because it was so nonsensical that I just forgot it. It was needless information. So I don't mind missing XRP. Now, this is the one that's going to make some of y'all go crazy. I know, because I got some friends that I admire and I respect, and they love it. So this one's gonna make a couple of y'all mad. So a lot of y'all probably been laughing, but y'all might not like this one. The next one, well, I don't have anything to pull up for as slides, but the next one for me is BRC20. Now I know some of y'all like, man, I'm not even watching this channel again. Like, dude is tripping. BRC20 is new. It's hot. It's it's the new thing. Once again, I said that the title of this is. Did y'all like the graphic, Shaq? Okay, so I got to tell you the story behind the graphic is that Shaq misses a lot of free throws. Right, he was never good at free throws, But what he did do well, he dominated at, and he's one of the most dominant big mans ever. So I see myself like Shaq. The stuff I get into, they're gonna be great. I'm gonna dominate. I don't have to make the free throws, and I don't have to have everything in my bag and every skill that everybody else has. So that's the story behind the graphic. I thought it was a great idea. I like stuff where you have to read in between the lines. But anyway, so BRC 20, you guys are saying this is a big narrative. It's new. A lot of people love it. Everybody's talking about it. Just some quick points without really. I don't want to knock any projects, but I will talk about two. I won't FUD them, but I will talk about them in my expression of my of how I feel about BRC 20. The main thing is I feel like it's common knowledge, but if you don't know, trying to get my notes to move up. For one, BRC 20 stuff on the Bitcoin network. I see Bitcoin as a store of value, as a lot of people have said, digital gold, right? You start putting stuff on the Bitcoin network, it slows it down. It makes the network congested. It makes the fees higher on Bitcoin, right? That's really just that's the nitty gritty. It slows the network down. It makes the network congested. It makes the transaction fees higher. Now, here's the thing that you're probably saying, but BRC 20 is a new narrative. It's going to be a big narrative this bull cycle. It may be, but there's too many things that can make it change for me. And I can't wait to give you guys my example in a minute. Um, because you have a lot of people that are very, very bullish on BRC 20, right? You see them talking about it. Y'all got to be in BRC 20, in inscriptions and whatever, whatever. But then you got another half of Bitcoin communities like, I can't stand this mess. Why are y'all doing this to Bitcoin? Bitcoin is supposed to be digital gold, a store of value. That's what Bitcoin is. Why y'all trying to change it? I don't have time to be in a narrative where you got half and half the people fighting each other. You don't see that in Solana. In the Solana ecosystem, you had people last cycle saying that, man, the Solana is trash, man. The network keep going down, it'll never hold up to Ethereum. But you didn't have people inside of the narrative saying that. Like people in Solana was like, we love Solana. This is this is the best tech. It's faster than ETH. You don't need layer twos. They were in consensus with what I'm saying. You didn't have the people inside of the holdings. I can't wait till this dry cough goes away. Sorry, y'all. Give me just a second. You don't have people inside of the community fighting one another. And as I always said, this is, oh, I'm sorry, I'm kind of FUD. I got to go to, this is not where I was planning to go. But so let me say this real quick. And this is to help y'all. If you might not see it that way, but whatever. So my thing with the BRC 20, if you have people inside of the narrative that are fighting one another, and you have the big, like the big, you know, I'm talking about big money, big money, right? That are in Bitcoin, and if they don't like what's going on in that ecosystem, they pretty much like they can make the moves that they need to happen, right? So I'm gonna get off BRC 20 for a minute. I'm gonna come right back to it, and I'm gonna kind of FUD something real quick. I don't mind. Y'all gonna get mad probably. This is the thing that I've been trying to help the Casper community with. People think they're smart, and it sounds like a good talking point when you're talking to retail. This is the next Bitcoin. It's better than Bitcoin. It's Bitcoin, but better. If you keep saying that mess, those Bitcoin people that hold that Bitcoin movie or money are going to show you just how big and bad Casper is. They're going to trash the price of it. They're going to do any and everything they can do to trash the price of Casper. So that may not be your best talking point, my friend, to keep saying that it's better than Bitcoin and it's going to take over Bitcoin when you got big billionaires holding Bitcoin and they're expecting to make Bitcoin look good to other investors so they can make money. And you're over here saying, my thing can take down your big giant. Listen, I know the story of David and Goliath. I know, all those kind of stories. I love underdog stories, but that's not the best talking point. So what I'm saying is, you have these big money people that are in Bitcoin, and if it's something that they don't like the layer twos on Bitcoin, and I'm gonna talk about one, and I'm not fudding it. I will say that Mint Layer is an ambitious project. I know people keep asking me about it. It's a layer two scaling solution that aims to scale Bitcoin. My thing with that is, let me hit the points and say them clearly and slowly. The crypto space is about speculation. It could be a dumb project and still make a lot of money if people buy into the narrative and believe in what the project is doing. Like I always say, that's why meme coins do well. They have no utility, but if people buy into the narrative and they like the community, it can pump. So what Mint Layer is trying to do is ambitious. Layer two scaling solution. My only thing is it's a very ambitious project. Seems like they have a decent team, but for me to be a project like that, I love the underdogs. I like the startups and all that kind of stuff, but I feel like you need a lot of VC money pushing this and putting money into the development when you're talking about scaling Bitcoin, which is one of the slowest blockchains because it was created to be that way, because it was created to be secure. It was not created for speed. I feel like you need a lot of research dollars in order to do that. But if you can sell the narrative, um, then by all means, do what you do. But it's just not something I'm bullish on and I'm looking into. I don't really even dig into BRC20 when people come and ask me, like, what are your BRC20 plays? I don't mind not being that guy. I'm not trying to be the all source of knowledge. I am trying to be the source of helping people make money. I don't have to know everything. There could be some another YouTuber that's an expert and he just follows BRC20, but it's not in my scope. It's not something I care about for those reasons of people fighting in the community, whether or not they like BRC20 or not. Before, I think I'm doing good with the stream. I think so. Let me read some of your comments, though. I got comments coming from different places, so I'm looking back and forth. Um, Great job, bro. Keep bringing us great info. Yeah, I try to, I try. Okay, I try to bring info. I try to bring the alpha is the main thing people are looking for, but I also try to bring insight and perspective that a lot of people are not talking about. So it gives you reasons to think about why you're buying. Like one thing I like that EA always asking me if we're talking about a project, it's not just, it's the why. Like, why are you bullish on this? What are your reasons? So sometimes you need more perspective, because if you're only thinking how you're thinking, you may be completely missing how other people are seeing it. Because if you're only seeing that BRC20 is a new narrative, it's a big narrative, it's going to be big this cycle, but you're not thinking about the fact that these Bitcoin heads don't like stuff on Bitcoin. They don't like bringing other stuff onto the network but Bitcoin, and you don't even realize that they're fighting amongst themselves in that community. That's the perspective that I try to bring. So you, when you see a BRC20 project, you can have that in mind. It doesn't mean it causes you not to buy it, but you can at least consider what could potentially not make this price, the price of this token pump. Bernard said, "Welcome, boss. Great to see you again. Watching you from the UK. Oh, appreciate it, appreciate it. And I made sure to turn my VPN off today so we're not lagging." Lonore said, "How's it going, Zoe? It's going pretty well. Still got this dry cough for some reason, but it'll be gone soon. I think I'll be fine." What's happening, Crypto Zoe? Hope you and your family doing well. Yeah, we're doing pretty well. We're doing really good. Appreciate. I like that you guys say stuff like that, because I'm thinking the same about you guys' families. Hey, Crypto Zoe, what do you think about AI tech? I think AI tech, or someone who loves AI tech, comes on my stream quite a bit. I think it was incubated by like Chat GPT, which I know it can be seen as bullish or whatever, because Chat GPT did well and whatever. I'm not too hot on it. Actually, that was not particularly about this particular project, but it's something I did skip over because I'm trying to make sure my streams are not too long, and I'm make sure good information is in every second, every minute. But one of the ones I was going to say I skipped over is if you in my Patreon and you heard me talk, I say my narratives are like interoperability. Gaming is one of my biggest, of course. Interoperability protocols, great layer ones, modular blockchains, and AI. But it's not too many AI projects that make me really bullish on it. And like I said, I don't want to just hold a AI token because AI could particularly be a narrative. I want to hold something I believe, like, because does this in AI, that it could be good. Like I always mention, I do not mind mentioning on my stream that Sophia versus was one of my picks, and it's been like just kind of going down or whatever. It has not been the most bullish, but I still believe because of what it is and the bullish aspects, like Ben Gortso and Sophia the robot. When people come into space, I feel like it still do well. But that's why I hold that pick. But some of these AI plays, I don't even like the graphics, like some of them. I don't know. I didn't look too deep in AI tech, but I don't remember being too much bullish on it. I just know that they were incubated by Chat GPT, which could be bullish because the people that invested in Chat GPT can invest in it. Hopefully, I'm not talking too fast because I hear myself speeding. But I'm not too bullish on it right now. Maybe I'll look deeper into it and see. But yeah, I'm not bullish on, and I don't mind missing AI picks just because they're AI. They got to look bullish into me. I'm not looking to get into hopeful picks. Even though Sophia verse sounds kind of hopeful now, I'm still kind of bullish on it. We'll see if that changes. I'll let you know. But I'm not holding AI coins for the sake of holding AI coins. I want to bring home my big point later. I'm going to show you some actual evidence like that nobody can dispute on this whole subject that I'm talking about right now. Um, also, can you please check out One Cat Bitcoin? I feel like I've heard of that. What is that? Is that BRC20? It's a gaming platform on Bitcoin. Yeah, I did hear about that. Well, I think I briefly looked. I felt like I looked into that like 2 months ago, and I don't remember looking again. So maybe I didn't like it too much, but I will look again. Let me put in my notes. Like I said, I try not to just say that I'm gonna look at you guys' pics. I actually put them in a little note folder. And hold on, it won't take me but a second. I'll look into it later. Um, you said it has two exchanges and a solid team behind it. Yeah, I'll look into it. I'll look into it. Um, because right now I feel like I'm just being honest. I feel like that ticker is going to be hard to find. But let me look right now real quick because I do try to answer your questions on stream, but I don't want to be too long about this. I do feel like I looked at this before. This joint, yeah. What was it? What was it about this that Let me see over here. Sometimes I don't like to pull up what I'm researching on stream because I don't, like I said, I don't want people to FOMO and stuff. And sometimes people just go through your stream, they scrub through it and they're like, "Oh, look at this pic," and they don't see anything I said about it, and they be like, "You told me." No, I didn't tell you to invest in that. Um, it looks decent. I'll have to look deeper into it. Sorry, I can't answer right now, but I'll look deeper into it to really see what's going on over there. Where we at? Where we at? Where we at? What do you think about the gaming narrative? That's my most bullish narrative, to be honest. To me, gaming tend to dump quickly. It gives me meme coin vibes. Oh yeah, no, true, true. And see, I like that you said that because, like I said, that's the perspective that people have to have. No matter if it's your coin or somebody else's coin, look at both perspectives of why stuff can, whatever. I will say a lot of them go up and down is because they need organic growth, and some of them are because Alex Becker said them, and that's the only reason why people got into them as a trade, because they knew when Alex Becker mentioned them that they would go up, and then they usually dump them because they're traders or whatever. I hope some of them really know how this taxes thing works, and even bigger, I hope these people are not trying to skip taxes because, listen, for one, we already got politicians lying to people. Don't make it a truth though. Don't be listen. I'm gonna just say it honestly. I usually don't say stuff like this. I'm saying this in the nice way, nicest way I can. That you're stupid if you're trying to avoid taxes because they just gonna come back and get you later, and then you got to pay more taxes and you got to do jail time. Like that's why if you get in good projects early and you make good money, you should be okay with paying that. Now, don't get, they did mess up this 20% capital gains taxes when you hold over a year now. It was 15%, but they some haters, so that's what they do. That's messed up that they whatever pay that 20%. I'm sorry. I know that's not what y'all want to hear. And now I don't sound like a DGen enough for y'all, and I don't sound like I'm about the crypto. I'm not about the crypto culture or whatever. But you can skip taxes if you want to. But anyway, I was saying that don't be, those people be trading in and out of coins. They're like, oh, Alex Becker talked about it. Let me buy it real quick, and then when it pumps, I'll sell it off. But I mean, do what you do. Everybody invests different. I'm not trying to do that though. But yeah, so that's why they pump and dump sometimes. But I'm getting in the gaming coins that I feel like really, like I said, I don't have a crystal ball, but I try to get in the ones that I feel like are going to be the big ones and really pump. And some of them are sitting pretty still. I haven't talked about them on my channel, but they're chilling right now. But it hasn't made me lose faith. That's why you have to have conviction in what you invest in. Still doing pretty decent with timing. Um, XI token, much potential in X or sell for entry into Illumia. See, that's what I was just talking about. Y'all be trying to trade in, not too much. It depends on how much you have in your bag. Of course, I'm holding. Do I still have my XAI? I'm sorry, y'all. Sometimes I don't remember everything in my portfolio, but I know I was bullish on it, and I think I first mentioned it. Where is it now? It may have dropped a little bit, but I feel like I first mentioned it around 56 cents. Yeah, still up from 56 cents when I first talked about it, and it's at 84 now. But oh, so let me say this one more time. I'm not gonna spend too much time on it because it's what I talked about yesterday, but I don't think I said this statement is clear. And I'm gonna try to make this very clear sentence that there will be coins with higher market caps that outperform coins with lower market caps. So it's not, like I said, it's not always about the market cap. I think XII will do well. Um, I don't want to lie and say they could potentially that Illumia that it will do as many X's as Illumia and Honeyland, because I think both of those are great, and I think they probably will outperform XII. But you kind of gotta diversify. It's not something I really can answer on stream, and I believe you are in the Patreon, so maybe we can talk about that more in there. Um, but hopefully, I would hope that you had already got some Illumia and Honeyland. That's a financial decision you have to make. I think they're all great projects, and how you diversify amongst those is it's kind of on you, my friend. Um, let's see where we at in comments. And so let me go back to my notes real quick. 'Cause I want to push home a point real quick before we finish, because maybe I'll answer some of these questions. Um, will I talk about that? I feel like I could. Let me sort of hit this one. I'm not liking that I'm about to do this, because I don't feel like I'm gonna have to get a chance to address it like I want, because I'm trying to keep the streams shorter. Oh, at the expense of saying this on live, and it will be here. So, one of the narratives that I was saying at first that I did not mind missing was real world assets. But so this kind of brings it together. I told you the ones that I'm bullish on. I told you the ones I don't mind missing, even though I didn't talk about all of them. This is one that I've been on the fence on. If I find a great project that's really just not saying like, oh, we're tokenizing, bringing on chain, real world assets. If I find a great project in there, I'll look into it and potentially hold it. But it's not my most bullish narrative. So I'm on the fence of not mind missing it. I know a lot of people are bullish on it because they're like Larry Fink. But let me tell you something. Let me say this clearly too. With real world assets included, you cannot be only bullish on a pick, because Larry Fink talked about real world assets, and he's the CEO of BlackRock, and they're respected and whatever and whatever. That cannot be your only reason. Your only reason, a lot of people are not gonna like this one. Your only reason for investing in a gaming token cannot be only because Alex Becker talked about it. You better have something else to back it up, because one of Alex Becker also talks about another gaming coin, and the other gaming coin is actually a better game, and the community is better, and whatever. So you can't just FOMO into stuff just for one reason. I usually have multiple reasons why I'm buying a token, and so I would suggest that you do that as well. So I'm not getting real world asset tokens just because Larry Fink said they were bullish and he talked about it on NBC. I got to really think that this particular real world asset project could perform well and give me the X's that I want. Like I said, really my target is always 100x, but because I'm on stream, I say that I want my picks to at least do 50x is my target, and I'm cool with that. And then you get your lottery picks later. I know some of you guys get your lottery pick meme coins and all that kind of good stuff or whatever. Um, but let me bring home my main point. I don't know if y'all gonna see this tying in this way, but this is the big tie-in that I created in my head about not wanting to miss particular narratives, being okay missing particular narratives, and being okay missing particular tokens. And I'm okay with missing these because I think because the crypto space is speculative as it is. But some of these picks that people are talking about are so speculative, and it's just like, because it's new, it should do well. I rather get in the picks that I believe in. This is the point. I rather get in the picks I believe in and wait for them to pump, because I have conviction in them, even if they're not pumping now. Because I'm waiting for those people to see, I'm sorry to say, with the Cardano XRP, I'm waiting for them to give up. That is the main point of this stream, is you get in good picks that you believe in, that are good picks, and you wait for those people who are invested in Cardano XRP to give up. Because what's going to happen is those market caps are too big for the people who lied to them. And I've seen y'all, some of y'all gonna laugh. I hope y'all laugh. Y'all been watching this channel long enough. I've seen people still talk. It makes me want to punch them in the face. I'm gonna be honest. Still telling people Cardano is going 50x and 100x from where it is right now. And I'm like, oh no, it's just clickbait. I understand. I do YouTube. You got to clickbait to get views in or whatever, which I never try to do. Do I? Y'all tell me. But I'm like, okay, they just clickbaiting to get views in. But when you hear them talk, They're serious, like they're dead serious. And so what's going to happen is those people who believe Cardano and XRP are going to 100x are going to be waiting for it. And then they're going to finally realize, oh man, it's not going to do it. And so let's say like XRP is like 30 billion right now. That's a lot of money right now. Say if it does is 3 or 4x, if people are bullish and they push it, you now have $120 billion of money that's coming back into your good picks that you got in early and had conviction in these altcoins that actually can do those 50 and 100x's. And that XRP money, I don't care what nobody says, is going to trickle back down into our picks, pumping our bags, but you're going to already have been sitting in them. And now I'm about to show you the example, the hard evidence example that no one can deny because it's here. The evidence is here. And if you were here last cycle, you saw this. Now, I'm not fudding these projects. I'm just showing you this is just facts. That's all it is. I'm not fudding anybody's project. So I just have changed. Hopefully, you should now see on your screen what we're calling the Dogecoin. So it's not to FUD Dogecoin to say anything bad about it, but what I'm saying is it is a project that was projected to do, and it did do well last cycle, but it was projected to do way more than it did. When people saw that it was not, watch this. I'm going to show you real hard example. This is okay. May, June, we're going up. I know you guys probably can't say this, but trust me, you can pull it up on your screen if you want to too. At least with my Galaxy phone, you can have two windows open or whatever. But anyway, so around this, Elon Musk was what was the exact thing? I know it was the Tesla stuff or whatever, but Elon was supposed to do something. I don't know. And that's when it started heading up to like 70, 80 cents. I can't even see what the cents is. But it was around this time, and then it fell back around July. And then it went back up, and then that's when the people had the realization, like, oh, this is moving slow. Like, I don't think it's going to do what people said it was going to do. And the target at the time was $1, right? Because a lot of people got in like around a penny or even under a penny, but the target was $1. And at that August that's on my screen right now, people realized it's not going to do it. And it was at 31 cents now. I remember this like it was yesterday. And you know what happened? I'm going to show you a real example of money in those big projects, those big $1 billion projects, people saying it's not going to reach it. And then it trickles back into nobody talks about this like this. And I'm not saying I'm smart for saying this, but I haven't heard a lot of people talk about it. But what happened is people went and found another project, and that project was called Shiba. When did Shiba start going up? It looks like right after the money flowed out of Doge. That's called a month called October and a month called November. So Doge, if you go, let me go back to Doge to show you. And some of y'all might think this is nothing, but I'm telling you, that's why I don't talk people out of investing in XRP and Cardano if that's what they want to do. See this in November. This is when Doge really fell. Look at that. It's November 8th right here. This over here, this fall right here is they kept trying. It was a triple top actually. This was August, September, and it tried to go back up, and it went back up in November for that last time. And that's when Shiba got his big boom in that note. Look at that. November 8th, Doge